just to get a backlog going. Let's load it up. Last episode was fucking insane. I'm hoping this episode makes a little bit more sense. Noriko just got done yelling at us because we don't have a corpse that matches her photo, and she refuses to change the photo because she's already working on it because she's a bitch. And we're, of course, a little obedient puppy, so we're going to immediately follow her command. My phone beeps twice as if to protest Noriko abruptly ending the call.
Fantastic.
She likes backing me into corners. What am I supposed to do? It's clear that she doesn't really have any intention of being with me. Thank God you realize that, dude, because I'm starting to worry. She has absolutely zero interest in you. Zero. She doesn't like you, even a little bit. Sorry, but it's the truth. She's using me, dangling the promise of something I desire right now. Yes, I'm glad you're seeing this, because I'm seeing it. And yet, I need to have... You're not going to have her, ever. It's never going to happen. You could have somebody else, but you can't have her. I need to prove to her that she should be with me. She's not... I lower my glasses and gently rub my brow with my fingers.
Shit.
I've got an idea. I can't believe I'm about to do this. I slide my glasses back up and adjust to them so they're comfortable once more. Are you going to sew another arm onto his arm? I fetch the mobile mortuary lift and angle it underneath the tray protruding from the open cold chamber. With a great deal of effort, I detach the tray from the chamber. It rests upon the top of the mortuary lift, allowing me to wheel the corpse from across the morgue. After pushing it halfway across the open room, I let the wheels come to a stop directly underneath the ceiling's glaring fluorescent lights. With that done, I turn and rummage around the cabinet. I sort through the number of tools until I found what I'm looking for. Clutching the sterile implement in my shaking hand, I return to the corpse lying on top of the steel tray. I roll up the sleeves of my coat.
For Noriko.
What?
Here goes.
What are we doing? Do you guys remember 3 minutes ago when I started this episode and I said last episode was really crazy and I hope the things in this episode make a little bit more sense? And do you remember how a minute after that he was saying exactly what I thought and what everyone else is thinking, that she's just leading him on and there's no way in hell she's ever going to be with him no matter what he does? And then do you remember right now when he decides to cut off his own arm instead of the arm of the other corpses in the room to attach to this corpse's body? I remember that. This is absolutely fucking insane. Absolutely fucking insane. There are other corpses. He could have sawn the arm off one of the other corpses. But he chose his own arm. And now he can't lift corpses anymore because he's going to be a one-armed motherfucker. When the metal bone saw digs into the soft flesh of my arm, I have to grip my teeth to refrain from screaming. I angle the blade so that it cuts away from the elbow. Need to leave it intact. The cutting process is pure agony. To prevent myself from passing out, I keep my breathing steady and try to focus on something simple. Something my brain can handle while aflame with pain. I begin to count. 1, 2, 3. I count the seconds that it takes for the jagged metal to saw to reach the bone. 15, 16. Still just flesh and muscle and blood spurting down my coat. 20, 21. I think I reached sinew before 24 seconds, but it's hard to tell because there's a terrible numbness that's somehow worse than the original searing agony. My fingers clutch the saw, beginning to slip due to perspiration. It's beginning harder to even hold the tool. After some 32 odd seconds, the saw hits the bone. I slide it back and forth, cutting the dense matter with as much strength as my failing body can muster. Vomit and drool have soaked the front of my coat and begun to smear them together with the blood. It's forming a shallow pool at my feet, and the stench of mixing liquids threatens to overwhelm my senses. Counting the seconds has become infinitely more difficult. 43, 44, 40, 430. Was it 21 seconds so far? No, it's been longer than that. It has to have been a minute by now. I've been sawing into my own arm for a full minute. But the blade still hasn't cut through all the bone. Don't recall when I fell to my knees. Don't recall when I stood back up. Don't recall running my slimy fingers through my hair, or when the flecks of blood spattered against my glasses, or when my bladder relieved itself. Don't even recall why I'm doing this. Is it for Shinzuko? Is it because I love her? No. Noriko. It's for Noriko. Actually, it's for Corpse Girl. I have to prove I'm worthy of her. I have to be loved by her. There's nothing else for me. Guys, here's a pro tip. I'm not an expert or anything. Like, I'm not, you know, some love guru or something. But if you have to saw your own arm off to prove to somebody that you deserve to be with them, they don't deserve to be with you. That's all I'm gonna say. 97, 98. As my count reaches 99 seconds, my right arm falls to the wet tiled floor, flopping like a dead fish against the deck of the boat. I let out a groan in what can only be called relief as I slumped on myself, resting in a pool of foul liquid. My vision is blurry, my breathing is ragged. The same part of my consciousness knows that I need to treat my wound. I need to apply the tourniquet and cauterize the damage, or I'm going to bleed out and die on the floor of my own morgue. But a quiet voice in my mind, the very same one that drove me to such an extreme measure, urges me to finish my work. Getting my feet is a struggle. I try to push myself off the ground using both arms, but of course, I fall flat on my face when my right arm fails to react to my mental instructions. I think the lenses of my glasses smashed against the tiles because my eyes seem to be bleeding now. So he's dead, right? He's about to die? A second attempt at pushing off the ground is more successful. My left arm is somehow strong enough to hoist my barely responsive body. I sway and stagger around aimlessly before collecting myself enough to attempt to fish my severed arm off the ground. Luckily, I managed to grasp the blood and vomit-soaked wrist of my former limb with one good hand. I drag myself towards the mortuary lift that holds aloft the corpse I need to attach my arm to. But I didn't think this through. No, you didn't think this through. I don't really know how to attach a severed limb. I bludgeoned the corpse's stump with my useless arm, trying to find some point of connection that will magically fuse the limb to the corpse. It's hopeless. And as I madly flail the arm around, I can't help but laugh at the whole situation. Of course I can't attach my arm to this corpse. The corpse is missing its left. I cut off my right arm. Wow.
Good one.
I throw my useless detached arm behind me and rest my weary body against the mortuary lift. Accompanying my laughter is the laughter of somebody else nearby. I have to listen really intently to confirm that I'm not just hallucinating. But I'm certain that somebody just walked into my line of vision, even as if there was nothing but a dark, blurred silhouette.
Yo, bro. You don't look so hot. What'd you do? Cut off your own arm?
I know the voice, but it's Junpei. It's not my voice, and it's not Noriko's voice.
Want me to take the pain away?
Yes, please. I'll give anything to remove the pain. I can't voice my consent. My mouth is dry, my jaw locked in place.
Here. Nothing a little fire can't fix.
The figure comes closer. He smells foul, like a dog that is bathed in gasoline. A dog. The heavy-set figure that I now assume is Junpei Matsumoto is crouching over me. The smell of gasoline intensifies as he pours some cold liquid all over my clothes.
Pity I gotta light this place up. But you guys didn't get the hint when we stole all of your corpses. Well, you ain't gonna be nothing without your precious Morn. And Corpse Girl is gonna wither away without her right-hand man. Right hand. Get it, Gojimbo?
The way he deliberately mispronounces my name really bothers me. It bothers me so much that my anger boiling inside gives me the strength to open my mouth once more.
It's Kojiro. Sure, bro. Sleep tight.
The dog lifts his body and disappears into oblivion beyond my sight. The unmistakable sound of a match being struck should fill me with panic, but I strangely feel calm. Warm, glowing tendrils of flame flicker on the outskirts of my vision. Fire. The entire morgue is alight. The acrid smell of smoke quickly covers up the odor of gasoline. Fire. I lost my family to fire so many years ago. Maybe it's fitting that I should perish in the same way. Fire. I hate fire. I hate it and fear it. Fire. It's everywhere surrounding me. The sickening stench of burning flesh permeates my nostrils, and I realize that it's the smell of my severed arm being incinerated behind me. Fire. I close my eyes. Really sleepy right now. Lost a lot of blood after all.
Sorry, Noriko. Sorry I loved you.
Act 2 is clear. Act 3, Aoi Sato. 1 month later. Okay. So, I want to talk a little bit about Kojiro's act and Kojiro himself, because he's dead now. So I didn't like Kojiro this entire game. Because I was playing from Noriko's perspective, and from her perspective, I found him annoying. I found his dialogue to be really stupid. He kept saying words like saws and mad and stuff. It was just kept pissing me off. After playing as Kojiro himself and finding out his real fucking motives, which I thought the entire time he was having sex with the bodies. He kept saying that he wanted corpses, an equal split of the corpses. Excuse me. He kept saying he wanted an equal split of the corpses that Noriko was going to steal from the morgue. And I thought the sinister thing he was going to be doing was he was going to be having sex with those corpses. That turned out to not be true. It turned out Kojiro really just loved Noriko, and he was super, super lonely and depressed because he lost his girlfriend and couldn't deal with losing her and never got over her. So much so that he fucking kept her corpse in Noriko's old apartment, which he used to live in. So the entire time, Kojiro didn't have any ulterior motives besides wanting to be with somebody. It didn't matter who it was. It just happened that Noriko needed him, so he was thrust into her life because he worked at a morgue and she wanted to use the corpses. So I'm not going to say that I like Kojiro or something now. I found his last act there just very, very sad, though. It's very, very sad that he did that. And I'm not going to say it's unbelievable, because I could believe somebody that's that lonely and that depressed doing something like that. I mean, people fucking kill themselves. Why not cut off your own arm because you think you're in your delusional mind that that's going to magically make the girl you're in love with want to be with you? But on a whole, I don't know. My first thought was he's going to cut off the arm of another corpse, because that's what makes sense. But he was obviously deeply fucking delusional and wasn't thinking straight the entire time we were playing as him. He was out of his mind on being lonely, depressed, and wanting to be with anybody. Again, it could have been anybody. He at one point pondered being with Tomeo because she was nice to him and bought a French press for him. And she was taken already, and he still wanted, pondered being with her. So, and she's the opposite of what he usually goes for. So he was just really fucking lonely. So he's a very sad character, very tragic. And if he hadn't cut off his own arm, he probably would have killed that fat ass over there. And now we're playing as Aoi. And I'm assuming Aoi's the Herald. I don't know if we're going to learn it in this chapter. The last chapter is a picture of the Herald. It's a picture of the lady in the mask and the hoodie. So we're going to be playing as the Herald, I assume. I assume we never play as... Let me look at the achievements again. View all achievements. We just completed Act 2. It has a picture of Kojiro. Act 3 is a picture of Aoi. We're now playing as Aoi, so that's correct. The final act is a picture of the Herald. And the last one with Noriko is just cleared the game. So I'm assuming we don't play as Noriko again. So that's it for Noriko's story, I guess. Love Unburied. Unlock the bonus ending. That's a picture of Tomoe. Truth Uncovered. Unlock the true ending is a picture of Noriko. Lies Revealed. Unlock the false ending as Noriko. And the hell ending is Noriko. Clear the bonus mode as a raven. Or a crow. Alright, so now we're playing as Aoi. My theory about Aoi is she's the Herald, because she's the only other fucking character we know. And she has a split personality. Oh, I'm so mad. I really wish I could scream at him. I really, really, really want to scream. But he's one of my best customers. I just wish he would take the rules seriously.
I said no free refills.
Maybe she doesn't have a split personality. Maybe this is... Her Herald is just her alter ego that she comes up with to have some power in her life because she doesn't have any power because she's a scared little girl in real life. The squeak of my voice surprises even me. Gosh, I've never yelled at a customer before. It feels so liberating. I feel free. The customer hangs his head. He looks as guilty as I feel on the inside. Oh gosh, I shouldn't have raised my voice at him. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm going to get fired for this, I just know it.
Sorry, Miss Aoi. I'll never ask again, I promise.
Make sure you don't.
That's it. Don't let him see you back down. Be firm, girl. Stand up for yourself. The customer scurries away, and I nearly faint from the adrenaline pounding through me. What a rush. I can't believe I didn't back down. So this is a month later, by the way.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
When I feel like I've calmed down, I fetch a cloth and begin to wipe some tables. My prediction is that this entire act is just going to be from Aui's perspective, of course. And then final act, Harold, is going to be Aoi, but it's going to be Aui's, like, Harold ego, like her alternate ego, Harold. And we're going to be playing through the entire game from that perspective of her being the Harold, is my guess, anyway. When I feel like I've calmed down, I fetch a cloth and begin to wipe down some tables. This place has been too busy lately. I still shake when I think about the incident last month that drove away a lot of the customers. That man, that tall, scary man with glasses and an evil face. He hurt my sweet little Junpei. He cornered him in this very cafe and stabbed his fingers with cutlery. What kind of sick freak does such a thing? I know there's something between those two. I can't ever forget the time that man left Junpei all bruised and broken on the ground inside the apartment. Grr. I hate that man. Who does he think he is, bullying my sweetheart? God. I fucking hate Junpei, by the way. You thought I hated Kojiro? I hate Junpei even worse. A pleasant little chime rings out from my pocket, and I recognize it as the notification I set to let me know when the cafe is closing.
Phew. Guess I better get going.
Luckily for me, I'm not closing duty today. My coworkers will take care of all that. All I need to do is sign out the employee app on my phone, and my full shift will be automatically recorded. Then I'll get paid on time, just like usual.
Bye, everyone.
I wave farewell to the other girls and duck out the front door. As usual, my cute little honeybee is waiting outside for me. I really hope that we get a... Oh, damn. I was really hoping we'd get Noriko's reaction and Tomoe's reaction to the death of, Kojiro. I really wanted a reaction to that.
Sup, baby doll?
God damn it.
Junpei.
It's disgusting, really. I rush into his arms and give him a big snuggly cuddle.
I'm so happy to see you.
Your boyfriend's a murderer, by the way.
Of course, babe. I'm always here for you. How was your shift?
Not so bad.
Glad to hear it. Guess things really have changed around here.
Yep. It's so much better since the old manager left.
Good, good. You come tell Junpei if anyone else gives you trouble, yeah?
I'll set them on fire.
I will.
I nuzzle into his broad chest once more, and I immediately feel safe and warm. Ugh.
Can I come back to your place?
Ugh.
Yes.
Ugh. He holds my hand and leads me toward the train station. I'm excited to be with him again. Ugh. Oh, nice place.
Would you like tea, my dear?
Ugh.
Whoa now, Sugar Plum. You've been serving drinks to people all day.
She has a nice place.
You go kick your feet up, and I'll do the brewing.
Junpei is so thoughtful. Every word he says makes it clear how much he cares for me.
Thank you.
I'm gonna vomit. I heed his instruction and nestle myself comfortably on the sofa. As I wait for him to finish in the kitchen, I scroll through my noise feed. I think I might hate Kojiro more because he didn't kill Junpei. God damn it, Kojiro. Can't you do anything right? I don't have that many friends on here, mainly just family members, but I like to see what everybody's up to lately. Plus, Junpei always shares funny memes and pics on his profile. I love seeing those. After scrolling for a minute, I come across a status update from a friend I haven't heard from in a while. Noriko Kurosawa. No Kurosawa, 2 hours ago. Hey?
What does that mean?
Her entire post is short and meaningless. It just says, hey. What on earth could she mean by that? I thought she didn't post on that. I thought she just stalks everyone. When was the last time I talked to Noriko anyway? She used to call me all the time. I used to call her too. Somewhere along the line we fell out of touch. After I introduced her to Junpei, I kind of got the feeling she was jealous. Jealous? Noriko always had feelings for me. Maybe being introduced to her, my boyfriend really hurt her. Yeah, probably. Oh, now I feel terrible.
Your tea, my love.
God damn it. Junpei sets down 2 teacups on the coffee table in front of the sofa. Steam rises slowly from both cups. That sight and scent immediately relaxes me. Oh, another thing I wanted to say about Kojiro. I know I talked about all game, how if there was an option to kill Kojiro, I would take it. I think the way he went out, I didn't like it. I don't think he deserved that.
Thank you, Pumpkin.
Junpei scoots up the sofa. He didn't deserve to die by Junpei, okay? Out of all the characters, I was hoping maybe Noriko would chop off his head or something. Or Tomoe would accidentally run him over. That would have been better. But to die to Junpei? Fucking Junpei? Are you kidding me? Junpei scoots onto the sofa next to me, breaking it in half, and I have to buy a new sofa now. I raise a hand and run it through his hair as I continue scrolling my nose. Ugh. A post from a guy I went to school with, Shinya Fujikawa, grabs my attention. Shinya with the capital S, Fujikawa, 5 hours ago. One step closer to solving the mystery of the deaths around Tokyo. Helping my father, Senior Detective Fujikawa, collect evidence from the crime scenes. It's like a dream come true, thank you, Father. Interesting, I think Shinya always wanted to be a detective. Come to think of it, we were supposed to work together at Temujin. Shinya lined up a job for me and I...
Who's this dude?
Junpei's gaze is fixated on Shinya's profile picture.
Oh, Shinya?
I tap on his pic and load his full profile.
We went to school together.
I scan through his profile and read some more of his recent posts. Shinya with the capital S, Fujikawa, 2 days ago. My father, Senior Detective Fujikawa, has enlisted me to help with this top-secret investigation. Why are you fucking posting it all over the goddamn website if it's fucking top secret? I can't divulge it. Oh, of course, yeah. My lips are sealed, top secret. So happy that I managed to get a lead on the case. I submitted some more information for the detective in charge of the serial murders around Tokyo, Senior Detective Fujikawa, who just so happens to be my father, and he said that I could join the investigation team as a probationary member. Really? You could just do that?
This guy has a real father complex, doesn't he?
Maybe.
7 days ago. No one tells you what to expect when you experience heartbreak. They broke up? No one tells you how hollow and empty you'll feel. Oh no. It's important to throw yourself into work. I will do so.
Heartbreak? Something about this dude tells me he's never had a girlfriend in his life.
Look who's talking, you fat fuck.
Huh. I wonder...
He actually had a bombshell. I don't know if you know this. Oh, that sucks. I actually like their relationship a little bit. Farewell, my love. I'm sorry I couldn't be the man that you wanted me to be. Oh. To Tomoe Watanabe, my soulmate, my other half, my one and everything. Please forgive me.
Jeez. Have some dignity, dude.
Wow. He really likes to share everything, doesn't he?
Damn it, I want to get away from these idiots and go see what happened there.
I swear, he never used to be this dramatic.
Junpei yawns and puts his arm around me. A classic move. He's so sweet and romantic. Ugh. I put my phone down and snuggle into his body. He's like a big soft teddy bear. A big fat, stupid teddy bear.
I should get going once I finish this cup of tea.
Good.
Really? Do you have to go?
Yep, he has to go.
Yeah, sorry, babe. I gotta check in on Mom tonight.
I hope you crash on the way there.
Oh, okay.
You'll be okay, right?
Yep, be fine. The thought of being alone forms a pit in my stomach. Dude, fuck this guy.
Don't worry. I'll help you out before I leave.
Ugh, what does that mean?
Thank you.
Junpei takes one last sip of his tea and gets on his feet.
I'll check the usual stuff.
Yes, please.
He walks behind the sofa and ruffles my hair with his rough hand. The bandages wrapped around his fingers feel corpse against my scalp. As he wanders around my small apartment, he calls out to me.
Oven and stovetop are both switched off. The kitchen tap is off, no drips.
He moves on to the bathroom and his voice echoes against the tiled wall.
Tap is off in here too. And the shower is off.
Do we have a fear of water or something? What do you mean? Finally, he moves to the front door.
I'll lock this door properly when I walk out. You just have to put the deadbolt in place, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Anytime, sugar. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Love.
I miss Kojiro. I didn't know this game could do this to me, but I do miss Kojiro. I admit it, guys. I admit it. With that, Junpei walks out his fat ass out the door and closes it behind him. I quickly dash from the sofa onto the door and slide the deadbolt in place.
All done. The door is locked. The door is locked. The door is locked.
Take a deep breath and tiptoe back to the sofa, then collapse onto it. Oh, here we go. We're having an episode just like Noriko. I'm curious how this will go. Junpei is so good to me. This music always tells me when we're having an episode. Listen to this. It's like a murderer with a knife. Junpei is so good to me. He truly helps me out. When I'm alone, I find it hard to be sure that everything is in order. I can't sleep or leave the apartment if there's a possibility that I've left the tap running or our appliance switch on. I can't relax if I think the door might be unlocked. I have to check things again and again until there's no shadow of a doubt that things are truly the way they should be. I don't remember when this obsessive-compulsive disorder first started, or behavior first started. I've been battling it for as long as I can recall. At the very least, when Junpei is here, he checks everything for me. He's so good to me. He saves me so much time, it stops me from having to stand in front of the kitchen sink for 5 minutes, constantly checking and double-checking if the tap is running. Logically, I know it's easy to see if the water is flowing from the faucet. You can see it, you can hear it, and you can feel it if you slip your hand underneath the flow. But logic rarely applies when I find myself second-guessing my own senses. I can glance at the faucet and tell myself it's been turned off properly, it's not dripping. But then I turn away. What if I'm wrong? What if it's actually still running? I feel my mind is betraying me. I feel like I can't trust anything I see or hear. When in doubt, it should be a simple matter of just quickly checking it one more time. But the more I check, the less certain I become. And it's not of the faucet that I have trouble dealing with. It's nearly everything. I unplug appliances from the power sockets to make sure they're definitely not still running. I flick light switches on and off 20 times in a row to ensure that I haven't lit the bulb when I leave the room. I open and close doors repetitively, and locks are the worst. I have to examine them from every possible angle to convince myself that no one could possibly break in. My condition is completely and utterly fucked up. Struggling against it has caused another horrible afflictions to evolve inside me: anxiety, depression, self-hatred. I just feel like I can't do anything without the shadow of my compulsive behaviors looming over me and controlling me. And so tonight, like many other nights, I decide to sleep right where I am, here on the sofa. I mean, you do have a really nice sofa. I'd sleep there. It's a really nice fucking room. This is nicer than any room I've ever been in. Getting up and going to my bedroom is too much effort. Sleeping where I am is just much easier. It's probably much nicer. Look at your fucking room, dude. It's a nice room. I begin to drift off, my face planted against the sofa cushion, my legs draped over the armrest. I'm thankful I don't have to work at the maid cafe today. My neck is a little sore from the terrible night's sleep, but I won't let that get me down. It's Monday, to start a fresh, brand new week. I've got lots of exciting things to look forward to. For starters, I'm expecting a delivery of some items I ordered online over the weekend. It's mostly snack food, but still I can't wait. Secondly, I'll get to see my Junpei again this afternoon. I'm going to meet him when he finishes work. Third, my favorite anime airs Monday nights. There's a new episode every week. Well, except for when they run repeats after the season just finished. Junpei loves anime as much as I do. Granted, he's not into my favorite series. He says it's a little too girly, but he likes the other shows. We have so much fun discussing characters and stories we like. even if the shows he watches scare me a little bit. Yes, it's going to be a good day. It's just going to be a good week. My upbeat mood is instantly shattered when Noriko Kurosawa's name lights up on my phone screen. She's calling me? We haven't spoken in so long. Why? What does she want from me? Noriko, she's such a chore. She whines and complains so much about her life, but she doesn't know how good she has it. So what if she's scared of leaving her apartment? Agoraphobia isn't that bad. It's pretty bad. I know some people have had agoraphobia, and it's not fucking pleasant. It's actually fucking debilitating. Too scared to even, like, go out in the backyard or go anywhere. Like, to even leave the room, they're fucking terrified. It's very, very, very serious. I'm scared of everything. Everything. She's so selfish, thinking she's the only one who has it tough. I'm very curious if she'd be saying all these things if I made that stupid fucking decision I made earlier. That one wrong decision, and now she's talking shit about Noriko. God damn it. I'm so tired of tiptoeing around her feelings and her stupid sensitivities. Oh god, if this is all because I made the wrong decision earlier, this game sucks.
Hello? Aoi? Hi, Noriko. Hey, listen. I know it's been a while, but can I stay at your place for a few days? I got booted out of my apartment for not paying the rent, and, well, I was living in this abandoned factory, but
Why can't you stay with Tomoe?
I can't do it anymore. I hate being there alone. The guy I was spending time with just disappeared, and now...
Whoa. I wonder if she really thinks he disappeared, or if she knows he died.
Aoi? Are you there?
Is this crazy bitch for real? Wow. We really don't like her. Oh my god, I'm so curious. I am so curious. Maybe I have to do that later. Just go through the entire fucking game again. Just spam click. And see if I made that decision right hours ago. If she would be saying all these things. Because I chose to go after her instead of leaving her be. If she would be saying this shit. Oh my god, I'm so curious. Okay, let's just continue, and then I'll probably do that later. She hasn't spoken to me for weeks, months, and now she wants to live in my apartment?
Aoi? Sorry, Noriko. You can't stay here. Well, fuck you too.
My phone beeps twice, and the call abruptly ends. What the hell is her problem? Before I can even blink, she calls me again. I'm hesitant to answer this time. But...
Noriko? Sorry, I overreacted. I think I'm in trouble. I think Corpse Girl is trying to kill me, and I need somewhere safe to stay.
Manipulation. It's cool. Corpse Girl is trying to kill her? I think Noriko has finally lost the plot. Whatever sliver of sanity she once held has finally slipped between her fingers.
Noriko, Corpse Girl isn't trying to kill you. What? How would you know? You are Corpse Girl. Remember?
Yep.
What? How do you... I'm the one who wants to kill you.
I am vindicated. I am vindicated, people. I have been calling this since the first fucking time we had that conversation, and I got sent a picture of my own corpse. I fucking called it. It was Aoi the whole time. I fucking knew it.
I'm going to fucking murder you in your sleep.
I am so curious. I am so curious. Because if we, like I said, because I did replay the scenario to get the achievement and see what happens directly after, but I stopped. We still got sent a picture of our own corpse. We didn't know who did it. But Aoi was on good terms with us, and we formed a connection with her. But in this timeline, we made the wrong choice, and we didn't form a connection with Aoi, we formed a connection with everyone else. Noriko's silence convinces me that her memory is returning. Perhaps she called me in some delirious state, or because of some fever dream.
Shit.
The call disconnects as she curses. What do you mean, memory? That stupid bitch. Did she seriously forget who she was talking to? I did. I forgot. I've had it up to here with her. As soon as Junpei works out the location of her factory, I'm going to go there myself and slit her throat open with my fingernails. What is going on? I knew that she wanted to kill her, but why? I'll let her bleed out all over me and tell her that she never meant a thing to me. What did I do? What did Noriko do to her? I don't care how much she loves me. I'll end her life quickly before she has a chance to confess her feelings with one last gasping, dying breath. Once Noriko is dead, the human removal service will no longer have any competition. And I'll finally be able to take her place as Corpse Girl. Alright, so I called all that shit, by the way, but... Oh, fine. Thank God a flashback. Thank fucking God. I am so curious. During our school years, I've always been so envious of Noriko. She was so beautiful, so slim and graceful, and she had a wonderful family, parents that loved her more than anything. I've never had any of that. I wanted so badly to be with her. Oh, I wanted so badly to be her, not be with her. I struggled with my weight back then, but that wasn't the worst of it. I had an abusive mother and a father essentially ignored my existence, well, until he killed me by splitting my neck open. What? I had an abusive mother and a father that essentially ignored my existence, well, until he killed me by splitting my neck open. I would have given anything to trade places with Noriko and feel alive again. It didn't matter to me that Noriko complained about every aspect of her life. She moaned about how much she despised her delinquent sister. She griped about how her father walked out on her, but still sent her birthday card every year. She lamented over the time her mother tried to kill herself in front of her and her sister, how her mother hung from the ceiling barely alive for hours and hours until Yuriko found out how to call for an ambulance. But I would have taken all of that trauma over my own upbringing. I would have traded my life for hers without a second thought. Noriko had no idea how lucky she was. Even after all these years, I never really overcame my envy of her. I went so far as to request her death through corp- Okay, yeah, called that. Of course she didn't die, how could she have? Junpei figured it out before I did. He forced his way onto Corpse Girl's website and viewed all of her death requests. Someone, Noriko, had placed a comment on the request I submitted. A single line of text never intended to be seen by other eyes. He forced his way onto Corpse Girl's website and viewed all the death requests. Someone, Noriko, had placed a comment on the request I submitted. A single line of text never... That's me, bitch. Oh, knowing that she had become Corpse Girl made my jealousy grow. I wanted to take her place. I wanted people to fear me just like they feared her. I wanted any other life, anything that would let me escape my own hellish half-existence. Thanks to trawling through her website, Junpei soon figured out the whole thing was essentially a hoax. Corpse Girl had no ability to cause death. Noriko was simply trying to con people into ending their own lives. It was pathetic and made me laugh. I decided to play along with Noriko's delusions in order to ensure her downfall. It's finally time. I get to meet Junpei at the station and walk home with him. Yay. The Noise Corporation office is getting walking distance from Shinjuku Station. Getting there is a breeze. Junpei works at the 13th floor of a massive office complex. He's one of the top dogs. He worked really hard to get to where he is. I'm so proud of him. It's kind of funny to think I almost got a job here. The Temujin building was so close to Junpei's office. Noriko and Shinya hooked me up, but I completely bailed on them. Oh well, at that time I had no idea that the love of my life worked nearby. I think I'm right on time, so Junpei should be here any second. As I wait patiently, a familiar-looking girl climbs in the stairs and wanders past me. Her outfit is kind of unprofessional. I wonder if she's an office employee. She looks like a troublemaker. Where have I seen her before? She caught me staring at her. Oh no, she's walking towards me.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
Yay, she's still alive. No time to run away, she's right in front of me.
Yeah, you're Noriko's friend, right? Aoi?
Noriko's friend. Everything is always about fucking Noriko.
Yes, and you are...
Brash girl swoops her hair out of her face and leers at me.
Tomoe, a friend of hers as well.
Oh,
I suddenly remember where I've seen Tomoe before. I think she was one of Shinya's photos. Is she the girl that Shinya was dating and broke up with?
how is Noriko?
Dunno. Was hoping you could tell me. Haven't seen that skank in weeks.
I see. I haven't seen her either.
Righto. Well, see you around.
Just like that, the girl brushes past me and doesn't even look back.
Bye.
I watch her as she wanders along the platform.
Yo, babe!
Junpei.
What up, doll? Hey, that chick you were just talking to? She works at Tamuchin. I see her walking around here all the time. She's the one I told you about.
Wait, that's her?
Yup. She used to help that Kochiro asshole deliver putties for Corpse Girl. I've been waiting for ages to introduce you to. Oh!
I nod at Junpei and immediately break into a run.
Go get her, babe.
Junpei's cheers fade as I leave him behind. Tomoe, she's the one helping Noriko, helping Corpse Girl. I've been waiting for this chance to follow her. Junpei has been keeping an eye on her, but her actions and movements are erratic and hard to predict. But today I fortunately have the opportunity to follow her. She's connected to so many people. Noriko, Kojiro, Shinya. They're all involved in Corpse Girl's operation. We want to track them all down one by one and cremate them like cadavers. Of course I'm saving Noriko for last. Oh god. Is this gonna turn into killing all of our fucking characters we played as first? Like, come on. God damn it. I kind of like the fucked up Aoi and how crazy she fucking is. Like this next sentence, I'll slice her open and bathe in her blood and be born again from her corpse. Like, I like that, but I don't like the idea of going back and killing all the characters that we played as. Like, I also like, I like Tomoe, I like Shinya, I didn't like Kojiro, but towards the end I started to like him a little bit, and I liked Noriko. I'll assume her identity and live her life and leave my own painful existence. Yeah, okay, that's how that works. I race along fast as my legs will let me. My feet pound against the train platform, and several people passing by stop and watch me out of curiosity. As long as Tomoe doesn't notice I'm tailing her, then I don't care who sees me. I follow her all the way to the end of the platform, then I blend into the crowd as we board the same train. My question is, when Noriko called us back, we said, bitch, didn't you remember I'm the one who wants to kill you and slit your throat and all that? And then Noriko said, oh shit, and hung up. I'm curious if Noriko knew all that and was just delusional, or what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And also, why does Aoi hate us? Noriko loved Aoi. I don't know. I'm missing something. Maybe I'm not missing anything. I just don't know. They're all mentally ill. That I can tell. I knock on the door of what I can only assume is Tomoe's apartment. She answers just after a moment and shoots me a quizzical look. As soon as the door is all the way open, I dash forward and slam into Tomoe with the full force of my tiny body.
What the fuck?
We tumble into the apartment, though Tomoe doesn't even lose her balance. She's a lot bulkier than I am. She absorbs most of the impact and manages to remain standing. She grits her teeth and plants her hands on my shoulders, only to push me back with a mighty shove.
What the fuck are you playing at? You just tackled me!
I swing a fist at her face. She catches me off guard when she sidesteps my punch and brings up her knee to my gut. I reel back, but the injury does about... Yeah, Tomoe's fought before, dude.
Take that, you dumb skank!
There you go.
I'll teach you to attack me! I don't care if you're Noriko's friend! I'll put you in the fucking ground!
Let's do it. Her long fake nails rake across my face and blood pours from my torn skin. But I stand firm and stare her down.
You're allied with Corpse Girl, right?
Is that what this is about? I don't give a shit about all that anymore. It's all behind me.
You know Corpse Girl's identity?
Of course I do. Why? Are you curious? Got someone you want to have killed?
No. I know that it's Noriko.
You're damn right. I should have guessed that a friend of hers would be just as psychotic.
There you go, Tomboy. Tomboy's the only one that gets it, dude. She's the only sane person in this fucking group.
Noriko can go fuck herself for all I care. I'm done with her shit.
There you go.
So am I. I'm going to kill her.
Tomboy raises an eyebrow.
That so? Well, she kinda has it coming.
I see.
Corpse Girl is done and dusted. Doubt the public even remembers her these days. It's all about the human removal service. Noriko's just Noriko now. But I still won't forgive her for what she did to Kojiro.
What? What is she talking about? Does she know something I don't? I don't know.
What happened to Kojiro?
Do you even know who he is?
I do.
He warned me about her, you know? He said she'd discard us as soon as we weren't useful anymore. Sure enough,
Oh.
she had him killed. Fucking burned him alive.
Interesting. Tomoe thinks Noriko killed Kojiro, when in reality, Junpei took care of that freak. He burned the entire morgue down around him. I suppose Kojiro's death caused Noriko and Tomoe's relationship to fall apart. Everything worked out better than Junpei had planned.
Noriko will die. And so will you for your role in helping her.
Oh, come on. Why are you so insistent on messing with me? I ain't never done nothing to you. Hang on.
Even though this girl exudes an air of stupidity, I didn't expect her to actually be this dense. Surely she figured it out by now.
Are you with the human removal service?
I don't say anything.
You're kidding me. You're the one Noriko has been fighting against this whole time. And you're her best friend.
Your point?
Are you the leader of your little group?
No.
Right.
When Tomoe pauses to brush her hair behind her ear, I strike. My hand darts forward and grips her throat, and I begin to crush it in my fingers. The girl kicks and flails. She beats her fist against my outstretched arm, but I don't flinch. Her gurgling and thrashing brings me no joy. I wish people would simply accept their fate. Despite how tightly I'm squeezing her throat, she manages to form a beginning of a word. I can only guess she's trying to call for Shinya. Shinya, the idiot boy she already broke up with. He can't save her now. I tighten my grip and stride forward, pushing Tomoe back and pinning her against the wall. She kicks out of me and directly hits me in the knee. I refuse to buckle. Her fingers continuously claw at my arm, slashing open my flesh and sending me flecks of blood across the room. She thinks she can hurt me. She thinks she can fight her way out of her fate. But nothing will ever injure me. You can't hurt the dead. So... she's dead? What? What is happening? This game has gone fucking mental. I thought... so her father really did kill her? What is going on? And now we just killed my favorite character. This thought repeats in my mind as my face crashes into the floor. A ringing sound in my ears causes me to question what just happened. The residual shockwaves of dull impact to my skull flow through my head. I wouldn't call it pain or even an ache, just a sensation that something collided with me. But I'm already on the floor, my lips pressed against the hardwood, and my eyes twitching, examining shards of pottery falling on the floor around me. A blanket of darkness descends over me, and I hear the ragged sound of Tomoe breathing and someone voice acting, "Are you okay?" But the question isn't directed at me. I don't think anyone cares that I'm lying here in my own blood. Probably Noriko just hit us. I can't count how many movies I've seen where characters claim they've had an out-of-body experience. Or maybe, never mind. I've heard the stories in real life too. People on the brink of death or unconsciousness tell tales of how they could view their own body from a lofty spiritual perch. I never put much stock into that nonsense. How can someone dead or dying view the world with any sense of form of clarity? When I died all those years ago, I didn't experience much of anything. It's kind of disappointing even though I didn't expect much. So she's dead. We're playing as a dead woman. Aoi's been dead this whole time. I don't understand. None of the rest of the story has been supernatural that I could see. Everything else has been plausible. The website doesn't have... Noriko doesn't have any actual power. It's just a con. Like, to scare people and they kill themselves. So I don't understand why it's all of a sudden going supernatural now. Unless this is all just like a mental illness thing. Like, what is happening? Being clubbed across the head in Tomoe's apartment was a completely different experience than the time glass shards pierced my neck. I feel like I'm teetering on the edge of consciousness, writhing around on the hard floor. I can see some light, some blurred shapes, and I can see my body down below. My body, delicate and frail and slowly decaying. I don't get it. Why would I have an out-of-body experience all of all times? I sure as hell didn't experience any sort when my father slit my neck. So why now? I wonder if any of my victims ever suffered from hallucinations like this before dying. Did Kotomi Ida and all those people on the train platform experience this when I cut them open? Okay. That explains that. Did they also helplessly look down at their own bodies from above as the train screeched past? And Mikatsuno, boy, did she scream when I pushed her over the balcony railing. So the entire time, Noriko was right. Somebody was killing on her behalf. It's been Aoi this entire time. And Aoi must be undead and with super strength because Aoi is fucking tiny. She's smaller than fucking Noriko. She's like a, what, 4'10" dwarf? Did her spirit leave her body to look down at her splattered corpse? What about the other nameless souls I've claimed from Noriko's website? There have been so many bodies piled up, countless gifts pledged in Corpse Girl's name. I didn't kill them because I wanted to shed blood. I did it to delude Noriko. That was the goal at the start, anyway. Noriko never caught on to what I was doing. She took all the credit, thinking that some all-powerful being in control of her victims. She never even tried to understand the truth. I slaved away for her, cutting and strangling and slashing and slicing. I piled bodies for Noriko, but Corpse Girl claimed all the kills. What are you talking about, lady? It was a pointless endeavor. I think she would have spiraled into madness even without the power trip. I suppose it doesn't matter now. Things have changed. My only focus now is to kill Noriko. I should have done so right from the start. I'll kill her for wasting my time. Do you want to be with her? Why'd you do all this for her then? You did it for her? I thought you hated her. As I look down at the body below, I see a girl too scared to go on, too scared to struggle anymore. It's a shame. If I wasn't killed years ago, I might have had the chance to live a normal life. Well, there's nothing else for it. I feel my spirit returning to my body. It's a strange sensation because I know I'm not returning to life. How could I have been dead for so long? This is so weird. If she's really undead, this story has just taken a fucking nosedive off the cliff. Like, what is happening? None of this other shit has been supernatural. My only chance is to claim Noriko's life over my own. I'll become her and discard this rotting, working... What? What? I can hardly see without my glasses. Everything is blurry, foggy, lacking in solid outline. Colors bleed into other colors. Blue blends into purple, and yellow melts into brown. It doesn't help that I'm partially colorblind. Never had much telling red and green apart anyway. Yeah, they've been doing that all game. Without my glasses, I'm practically blind, helpless.
You're finally awake.
Nice hat.
Fucking skank.
That's right. She spits at me and her filthy saliva drips out inside of my face. It's warm. I try to lash out at her, only to find my arms have been bound to my side. Good. I try to scream out, but my mouth is gagged from what I can only assume is a sock. I try to lunge forward, but I'm strapped tightly to a wooden chair I'm sitting in.
I can't believe this. This is so strange. I just...
Shut up, Shinya. Jeez.
Sorry.
The blood forms of Tomoe and Shinya are pacing the room. Even without my full vision, I can see that the room is bright. Sunlight is pouring from an open window. Just how much time has passed since I was knocked unconscious? And why have they tied me up here? I scream into the mouth gag, somehow loud enough to capture their attention. Tomoe strides toward me and pulls the damp sock from my mouth.
What? What do you want?
I mumble something about being unable to see. Tomoe swears, stumbles around for a bit, and forcefully shoves my glasses onto my face.
What are you going to do to me?
I don't know. That's up to this genius.
Her arm gesture towards Shinya, a pointed finger were loaded with an accusation.
Me? Look, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I just saw you were in trouble, so...
Why are you here anyway? We're done. Over.
I wanted to see you.
Ah!
I'm not in the mood for their lover's quarrel.
Let me go. Or bury me. Either way, don't keep me here.
You nearly killed me, bitch! It's taken all my strength not to murder you right here!
Go ahead. Try it. You can't kill the dead.
She has to be mentally ill, right? Like, she's not actually dead.
You're a freak.
Let me call my father. I'm sure he can take her in for questioning. He can find out her motives for attacking you.
I already know why she attacked me. She's trying to take down everyone associated with
Tomoe cuts herself short.
Never mind that.
I wonder. Is Shinya not privy to Tomoe's relationship with Corpse Girl? Intriguing. As Tomoe's former boyfriend, I only assumed that he was a part of the operation. I thought he was an accomplice. If he doesn't know anything, then I don't need to kill him. One less person to deal with before I go after Noriko. However, I need to focus on getting out of here first.
If you let me go, I'll never bother you again.
Oh yeah, that'll... If they let her go, then I've already... rating this lower than I'm already rating it. A lie.
Why should I believe you?
You shouldn't.
You followed me to my freaking home!
Yep.
I'm sorry.
You're not. Lie.
Then I'll exchange information for my release. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Why'd I lie?
Like I care! I'm done with all the shit between Noriko and you!
And yeah.
Noriko? Has she got something to do with this?
Go away, Shinya.
Shut up, Shinya!
Yeah. Shinya. Perhaps he's my ticket out of here. I turn my head to him and wait until he looks directly at me.
Shinya, I'm so thirsty. Can I have some water?
He pauses, but since Tomoe doesn't interfere, he ducks out of sight. He returns within seconds, holding a half-filled cup of water out to me.
Here.
I bob forward as best I can against my restraints and take a sip of the lukewarm tap water.
Thank you.
It's worth noting how easy he is to manipulate. He's the complete opposite of my Junpei, who is strong and independent and doesn't let anyone mess with him. Except Kojiro, who broke all of his fingers and stabbed him and pretty much just fucked him up at will. I miss Kojiro so much. I can't believe this game is making me miss Kojiro.
So, about my offer. Will you let me go if I share information about the human removal service?
Shinya's face turns pale.
The human removal service? That's...
I really couldn't care less about all of that. I told you, I'm done with everything.
I see.
Tomoe. She might have information that can assist with my investigation. We have to accept her offer.
Oh, please. You're no cop as much as you fancy pretending to be one.
I already told you that Father accepted me as part of the investigation team.
You're a hack, a wannabe.
I wonder if he cheated on her. I can't imagine Shinya cheating on her, but that's the only thing that makes sense that she's so mad at him for. And he said to forgive me.
Why can't you just be happy for me?
Shut up. Shut up, shut up!
Probably cheated on her. Tomoe storms off, the sheer force of her anger causing the walls to tremble. Shinya and I are alone in the room. Oh, that's smart. I don't waste another second.
Shinya, I don't know everything that's going on, but it sounds like you're trying to solve the murder cases, right?
That's right. I'm really helping the investigation team, you know?
That's good. Very good. Please, I have information that might help you. Will you let me go if I share it with you?
His nervous eyes dart around, searching for any sign of Tomoe's presence. Then he looks me dead in the eyes and says the very last thing I expected to hear.
I'll let you go if you help me kill Noriko Kurosawa.
What? What is happening right now?
This is your apartment?
Yes.
Please forgive me for intruding.
Shinya bows politely and removes his shoes. He places them carefully in the front door steps and takes a stride forward. He takes a good look around before turning to me.
You have a nice place.
She does. Oh, please. I wish I could cut the formalities. We're here to discuss serious business. He's acting like we're new co-workers or something. I walk over to the door and make sure he's fully closed. I slide the deadbolts into place.
The door is locked.
I whisper this under my breath so Shinya can't hear me.
The door is locked.
If she's undead, why does she care about any of this shit? She's obviously not undead. This is just a mental illness thing. When I'm about 95% sure the door is actually locked, I wander back to Shinya. It takes all my willpower to refrain from turning back and checking it once more. Thankfully, Shinya distracts me in my inner turmoil.
Is everything you told me true? I want to make sure I have all the facts straight.
Yes, it's true. All of it.
The truth intermingled with lies is still the truth, right? I lucked out when Tomoe left the two of us alone in her apartment. If I had to explain things to her, I would have given her inside information on the human removal service operations. Anything less would have clashed with her existing knowledge and caused her to doubt me. But, since all I had to explain things to Shinya, I had already determined that Shinya wasn't in the loop, so I concocted a convincing lie in order to secure his cooperation. And he bought it.
Just want to get my head around it. Noriko Kurosawa is Corpse Girl. She's the one that was behind the initial string of murders across the city.
That's right.
She delivered photos and corpses to her victims in order to convince them that they would die soon. And that had the effect of causing people to kill themselves. Almost a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Of course, all of this part is true, kind of. Shinya doesn't need to know the fact that I acted behind the scenes and brought the victims low with my own hand. Those acts of violence almost seem like a distant memory now. I was so committed to aiding Noriko that I couldn't think of it. Why were you dedicated to aiding Noriko? You hate Noriko. You've said this whole time you're jealous of Noriko. You said that you wanted to kill Noriko. Why were you aiding her? Why were you helping her? Why didn't you tell her you were helping her? I don't understand. She said she's always been jealous of her. She says that when she found out she was Corpse Girl, she hated it. In the end, my assistance didn't help my own situation. I only propelled Noriko's ego to the stars and continued to suffer my cursed half-existence. If she's undead, then I hate this game. She's not undead. It's some sort of mental illness thing. It has to be.
But it wasn't long before another group started killing people in much the same way as Noriko did. A group called the Human Removal Service. It killed hundreds, if not thousands of people in the past months.
Again, all true so far.
And you were enslaved by Noriko? Forced against your will to infiltrate the Human Removal Service and bring them down from the inside?
That's right.
Heh. He's a fucking idiot. I agree.
That explains why you want to kill Noriko. You want to be free from her. Even if it isn't exactly the legal thing to do.
And why do you want to kill her? Legal? What kind of pedestal is this guy standing on? He specifically requested assistance to do the exact same. Yeah, he wants Noriko dead just like I do, yeah.
But if I remember correctly, you only managed to learn one important thing about the Human Removal Service, right?
Yes.
The group is made up of dozens of members. Dozens of people that all masquerade as the leader, known as the Herald. There's no single person responsible for the murders. It's the joint effort of a large group, all striking across the city simultaneously.
For fuck's sake, Shinya.
Am I correct?
And here's the real kicker. He's absolutely spot on. I didn't mind sharing this tidbit of information with him. It did nothing to assist the investigation. And wrapping the lie that I was Noriko's lackey in a blanket of truth makes everything all the more convincing.
Yes, that's right.
Phew, okay. I think I understand everything. Thank you for your help.
Wow. There's one thing I'm not entirely comfortable about. Shinya hasn't been forthcoming for his reasons about wanting Noriko dead. If I don't air the question, I feel like he will never address it.
Can you tell me why you want to kill Noriko?
He tries to back away from the question by twiddling his thumbs and pretending to examine the nearby wall.
Shinya, I need to know. Otherwise, how can I trust you?
Trust. It's a word that always made me laugh. How can I trust anybody? I wouldn't even trust my own parents, the people who swore to raise and protect me. My mother hit me when I was misbehaved, and I overslept by 5 minutes or raised my voice ever so slightly. I was a child. How could I ever trust her not to lash out at me? My father, how could I ever trust him after he killed me? He didn't fucking kill you. That's not true. And Noriko. Noriko, the only friend I opened up to, the one person who knew all my struggles and who loved you. She betrayed me. She kept her perfect life out of reach, taunted me with it, dangled it in front of me like a carrot. What? She wanted to be with you. What? And when I asked to share her life with her, she completely misinterpreted it. She told me she loved me. She told me she wanted to be with me. She wanted to shower me with gifts, hold my hand, be intimate with me. She wanted to be my girlfriend, but how could I ever be intimate with her after I went through? She didn't understand me. She didn't understand what I wanted her to be. That I wanted to be her, not be with her. She wouldn't trade lives with me, so how could I ever... What is going on? What is going on? Oh my god. She's not undead, guys. She's not. She can't be. I refuse to believe this. I refuse to believe that in this entirely... I mean, it's a fake story, but so far, things that have happened could have happened. They could have gone down the way they did. But there's no such thing as zombies, okay? There's no such thing. How could I trust her when she said she loved me but wasn't willing to make a sacrifice to me? How did she know? Does she know you're undead? I never fucking knew that from being Noriko for almost the entire game. Everyone is so full of shit, and I'll never trust anybody. Okay, dude. Alright. Let's just get to the end of this game. Junpei spends every day trying to prove his love to me. He assists me with the compulsive behavior. He helps me do my shopping. He helps keep my apartment neat and tidy. Do I trust him? No. I know what he wants from me. He's no better than Noriko. He's willing to jump through hoops for me in the hope that I'll eventually conquer my he'll eventually conquer my flesh. I don't understand. I don't understand what's so bad. Yeah. Oh god, somebody that loves you wants to have sex with you. How awful. Even when he tries to help out with my compulsions, I don't have full faith in him. He takes it upon himself to complete my checklist of rituals in order to spare me the stress. But more often than not, I still have to go ahead and double check everything just to make sure he didn't fuck anything up. If I can't even trust him with that, then I know I'll never be able to trust another soul with anything. Looking at Shinya now, pacing nervously around my apartment, I decided to not put any sock into what he says next. There's no way in hell that I'll believe whatever comes out of his mouth.
Noriko is my friend, but my father, Chief Detective Fujikawa, in case you didn't know, has declared her the prime suspect of our investigation.
Yeah.
Thing is, Father isn't the most lenient person, and he's been cracking under stress lately. If he finds Noriko, if he arrests her, there will be no trial. She'll simply get life behind bars. Guaranteed.
Is he the judge, jury, and executioner? There's no judges in Japan? There's no right to a fair trial in Japan? The detective can just do whatever he wants? And that's why you want her dead? What? Shinya hangs his head and I hear a quiet sob.
Is that our country's idea of justice?
I don't know.
She doesn't deserve anything less than death for her crimes.
What?
Letting her live safely behind bars isn't a punishment. It's an act of mercy.
Okay, so he's mad that it's not going far enough?
I want to ensure Noriko receives true justice. Fitting judgment for the lives she destroyed.
If this game ever gives me a choice again, which by the way, it hasn't given me, it's given me like 2 total choices the entire time I've been playing. One time I fucked up with Aoi and apparently it turned her into a fucking murderous zombie. And another time it gave me a choice with Tomoe and I chose to hang out with her. If this game gives me a choice to murder all these other fuckers and let Noriko get away, I'm doing it, by the way. Just letting you guys know that. What he's saying just doesn't add up. How does he know that she won't receive the death penalty? I don't know. It's true that it's not common punishment, but it's still legal under this country, especially for those cases of mass murder. Does Shinya have information that I don't?
I need to find her. I need to hand her the justice that my father is too cowardly to deliver.
He's too cowardly. You're in my fucking room crying about this shit. Whatever. I'm already sick of this guy. Me too. He acts like he's been personally wronged by Noriko's crimes, like he's so high and mighty and knows what's best. True. I doubt he knew a single person that Noriko killed. He knew Ida.
Fine. To be honest, I don't really care about your reasons. As long as you want Noriko dead, then our goals are the same.
To be honest, I don't know Aoi's reasons either. Everything she said is bullshit. Everything he just said is bullshit. It's all bullshit. They both don't have good reasons to want her dead.
But I have to ask, will you turn yourself into the police after you kill her?
Once again, Shinya hangs his head.
I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't.
Do you know what Noriko did for you? You fucking idiot. He leaves his sentence hanging midair. It wasn't exactly a confirmation.
There's only one problem. I have no idea where Noriko's hiding. She doesn't live in her apartment anymore. She doesn't show up to her office. I know that she has a factory that she runs her operation from, but I can't find it.
I see. I might be able to help. Tomoe and Noriko used to spend a lot of time together. I'm not sure what they used to get up to, but I checked the travel history on Tomoe's IC card, and she made a lot of trips to Shinokubo.
Her IC card. For people traveling by train every day, buying single-use tickets is often a pain in the ass. Reusable IC cards are much more convenient. You can top them up with money and simply swipe them at the ticket gates to have your train fare automatically deducted. Best of all, they keep a record of your transaction history and the stations you've visited recently. Why did I say trawled? The fact that Shinya even thought to look at somebody's travel history makes me want to reconsider my initial assessment of the guy's detective skills.
Shinokubo, you say?
Yeah. Can't imagine what she was doing there, but all the dates she traveled to that station coincide with days she claimed to be hanging out with Noriko.
I still don't think Shinya realizes that Tomoe was in on Noriko's operation. Regardless, this is valuable information. Chances are good that Noriko and Tomoe spend a lot of time together at their factory, and that the factory may very well be located in Shinoboko. I'll feed this information to Junpei and see what he makes of it. Perhaps he'll know something that I don't.
Thanks for the info. That's enough for today. I'll contact you when I locate Noriko.
Oh. Say, just one more thing.
I love you.
What is it?
If you've been wanting to kill her, then why haven't you just called her and asked her to meet up with you?
He thinks he's so clever. He thinks he has it all worked out. He doesn't know shit.
It's not that easy. I need to find where she's living and running her operation from. I want to destroy everything involved with Corpse Girl. I want to burn her factory to the ground.
More lies, lies on top of lies. The truth of the matter is that Noriko knows perfectly well my intentions for her, even if she temporarily forgets it during moments of delirium. So Noriko knew the truth the whole time? Then what was the getting her a job about? And what about that scene that we missed in the rain of Aoi crying and saying how we love her? And oh my god, dude. Again, if it all stems from that one thing, I am going to be so fucking angry. And I'm going back and I am replaying this entire game off recording, off YouTube, and I'm going to tell you guys if that's the truth. And if it is, I'm going to lose it. But it's not the truth because they wouldn't fucking go through all of this. So even if we did befriend her and gain her trust or whatever, this would all turn out to be true. I don't understand. In fact, I don't know what that changes besides an achievement. She would never agree to meet up with me, not now. Things were different so long ago, but I missed that opportunity. Noriko worked out my position in the human removal service. She figured out that I'm the Herald, the one responsible. I wish I saw all of that. That would have been cool to look at. She doesn't know that there's more than one Herald, but that's irrelevant. And she doesn't know that I'm responsible for the mass bodies littered across Tokyo thanks to Corpse Girl's website. However, as long as she knows I'm a threat, she'll never agree to meet me. I mean, you could have said yes to her staying at your apartment, and you would have gotten what you wanted, but whatever. How she came to the conclusion that I'm an enemy is beyond me. Me too. She's a sharp person despite teetering on the edge of total breakdown. It doesn't matter, the point is I can't simply call up and meet with her. I mean, she literally called you to meet up with you at your apartment, but okay. Besides, I actually do want to locate the factory just as much as I want to locate her. The factory is where I'll plant myself. It's where I'll start my life anew. It's where I'll grow and blossom into a new corpse girl once I've taken over Noriko's identity. Shinya is contemplating my answer. It seems good enough for him.
Fair enough. You want to see Corpse Girl completely and utterly defeated. I get that. That's your idea of justice.
Sure.
Agreeing with him will make this ordeal of a conversation end quicker.
I'm going to get some rest. So...
Get the fuck out.
Okay. I understand. I'll take my leave. Call me when you locate Noriko, okay?
Yes.
Lie.
Farewell then.
He makes his way to the door, and I don't take my eyes off him until he disappears through the portal. When he's gone, I tiptoe over to the door and confirm it's fully closed. I make sure the door is snugly nestled into the wooden frame. I lock the door handle, then slide the deadbolt into place.
The door is locked.
But is it?
The door is locked.
I can't be certain. To my eyes that fail me on a daily basis, that betray my mind with delusions and phantoms, the door seems to be locked. But why should I trust my eyes? I don't trust anyone. Why should I trust parts of myself? I can't even see colors clearly. Red, green, whatever. I can't see anything without the aid of glasses. The door has been locked. It has to be, otherwise I wouldn't be able to walk away. I won't be able to stop thinking about it until I come back and check it again and again and again and again.
The door is locked.
I turn away, take a deep breath, and then immediately turn back.
The door is locked. The door is locked.
I'm pretty sure the deadbolt is in place. It certainly looks in place. I'm so exhausted. I'm tired of the routines and rituals. Why can't I just walk away? If I walk away, the problem wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be stuck standing here, checking and double-checking something so trivial. If I could walk away, I wouldn't be so full of stress, so worked up about things that ultimately didn't matter. Another deep breath, and I take a step back.
Door's locked.
I turn, run, dash. I sprint through the room, sprint through the hallway. I slam my body into the bedroom doors, throwing it wide open. I collapse on my bed. I ignore the nagging in my brain telling me that the door is unlocked. I ignore it until it feels too real and I have to scratch my flesh just to distract myself. I pull my pillow over my head and I hold it tightly around my face. I'm safe here, safe in my bed. The door is locked, locked. I try to convince myself to fall asleep, tell myself I'll feel better after I rest. I hope I lock the front door. What does it matter? You're undead, right? You can't die. So who the fuck cares?
So yeah, like, I reckon I'll have some work for you soon.
Oh yeah, dude?
The other heralds have been keeping the numbers up. There just haven't been any requests for this area lately, you know?
Yeah.
I'm only half listening to Junpei. He said something about why I haven't been tasked with killing anyone lately, but I don't really care about the reasons. Junpei's the only one in contact with the leader of the Human Removal Service. I just take the orders like everyone, like all the other heralds. Not that I've met any of them. Every herald has their own district, their own turf. If a request comes through their website, it gets allocated to the herald closest to the victim. It must have been a week since I got my last kill, maybe 2 weeks. It's not that I like the killing, it's not that I want to do it. I fulfilled the request simply as a way to antagonize Noriko. It's my role in playing backing her into a corner and shutting down Corpse Girl. And so far, thanks to my contributions to the Human Removal Service, we have been incredibly successful. Corpse Girl is all but a distant memory to the general public. If people really want to request somebody's death, they come to us, not to her. I don't plan on remaining in this group for much longer. After all, Noriko is pretty much already broken. She's a wreck. Once I find her, I'll possess her and quit this group. Then I'll finally have the life I always wanted in Noriko's life. If you possess Noriko, and she's the prime suspect in the murder of the Corpse Girl cases, you're going to spend their life in jail with her body. If this is supposedly how this works. Supposedly she's undead and she could possess people's bodies, so she's trying to possess Noriko's body. I don't believe any of that. I don't think she's undead. I think she's a crazy woman who for some reason hates Noriko. And I think it's because I picked the wrong choice a long time ago, but then again, all this writing wouldn't be true, and I don't think they'd do all this extra work, so I think it would be the case anyway. I'll resurrect Corpse Girl when I feel like it. I'll use my inside knowledge on the Human Removal Service's operations to bring them down myself. After that, I'll be able to spend my days in peace, living free of fear, finally comfortable being the girl I want to be. I'll truly be Noriko. You'll be in jail.
Yo, babe, you in there?
God, this fucker.
Huh?
I suppose I drifted too far away. I rubbed my eyes looking at Junpei and flashed the sweetest fake smile.
I'm okay. Sorry, honey bear. I'm very tired.
Oh, don't sweat it. You want me to grab you a cup of coffee?
That would be lovely. You always know how to make me feel better.
Of course. I'm on it, babe. You wait right there.
Junpei stomps away and heads behind the bar, leaving me alone in the empty section of the cafe. I take a seat on one of the cardboard boxes lining the wall. The box is solid, thanks to being packed full of various canned drinks. The maid cafe belongs to us in the early mornings of the maid cafe belongs to us in early hours in the morning. The place doesn't open until noon, so there's no one here for this early. I'll have my own keys these days, regardless of whether or not I'm supposed to. Junpei suggested we use the place to make a makeshift base of operations after I decided I was going to continue working here. That was some time ago. Originally, I had planned to quit. I was going to work with Noriko. My manager at the time used to drive me insane. I couldn't wait to get away. But after I killed him, things here weren't so bad. Okay. The new manager is great. He doesn't pressure me to work shifts I don't want to. He doesn't let customers take advantage of the staff. Neither the new manager nor the other staff members care that Junpei and I meet up down here. It's not like we leave any incriminating evidence behind either. It's simply an easy place for us to meet up and talk, since Junpei lives so far away from me. The added benefit is that we have access to cheap drinks and food thanks to my employee discount, so hanging out here is actually quite pleasant. I wait for a while longer for Junpei to return. I really could use the coffee right now. His return is heralded by the thump of heavy feet against the tiled floor.
I got you, fam.
Fuck, I hate this guy. Junpei sidles up me and my hands in my favorite drink, to tall iced tea coffee with an extra shot of extra espresso and a double ice cream.
Oh, you're the best, baby.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know it.
Ugh. He giggles in his insanely irritating high-pitched way and begins to chug down his own latte.
So I wanted to ask you a favor.
Anything for you, honeybee.
Ugh. A tuft of milky foam sits atop on his top lip, and I have to hold myself back from stabbing him in the face.
Noriko apparently spent a lot of time in Shin Okubo with her accomplice Tomoe.
I do like her dark thoughts. They're pretty funny. With her perky demeanor, like, here, and then she has, like, fucked up thoughts. It's kind of funny.
Shin Okubo, huh? Good old K-Town.
Please kill him at the end of this game. Maybe I'll like you more if you kill him.
What'd they go there for? Karaoke?
Doubt it. Noriko sounds like a drowning cat when she sings.
Then what?
Well, I'd like to think that's where the factory is located.
Oh, gotcha.
He's so fucking stupid.
Oh, you could be onto something. Trip from Kojiro's mark to Shin Okubo wouldn't take that long. Since they used to move a lot of bodies around, it's definitely a viable location.
I agree.
Right on. I'll look into it. I'll track down factories in that area and get my troops to investigate each one.
I'm careful not to let him see me roll my eyes. I'm glad she doesn't respect him at all, because I don't either. By his troops, he means the guys he plays online games with, a bunch of teenagers that all look up to him because he's a top-ranked player. They're not involved with the human removal service, they're just pawns that Junpei uses to complete his legwork around town. Well, yeah, his fat ass isn't gonna do it all. Sadly, they're happy to serve him because they all see him as their sensei. Ugh.
Cool. Let me know what you find out. I'm itching to get this all over with. My love.
It's increasingly difficult to act pleasant around Junpei. My mouth tries to clamp itself shut every time I use a pet name or affectionate term. I know that my time to discard him is near. Once I become Noriko, then, thank God, we're gonna kill him. I'm looking forward to that, even though I'm not looking forward to killing Noriko.
You can count on me, sweetums.
God.
Now drink up and get your energy back.
You fat bastard. I take a sip of my iced coffee and I can nearly taste it. You're not undead. I refuse to believe you're undead. I'm not believing it, no matter how much this game wants me to believe it. I do not believe you're undead. Because my tongue is dead. You're not dead. You're not undead. You're alive. The food and drinks I consume need to be extra strong or sweet for me to have a chance of enjoying the flavor. You can enjoy it fine. You're not undead. But Junpei doesn't know this. He knows that. Did I skip something? No. He just thinks I have a sweet tooth. He thinks whatever he wants because I just don't care. I don't either. A message from Junpei arrives while I'm lying in the fetal position on my couch. Junpei, free Wi-Fi. Hey cutie, the guys checked out a bunch of factories yesterday. Got the location, hit me up. I have to read the message twice to be sure my eyes aren't deceiving me like usual. Does he truly have the location I've been looking for? I take a calming breath. I don't want to jump to conclusions, especially with someone involving Junpei. He has the tendency to exaggerate, and may just be trying to get me excited about some useless information. I send him a short reply requesting the info. I instantly receive a thumbs up emote, then a text box changes to an animated ... as Junpei composes a follow-up message. The wait is agonizing. If Junpei pulls through for me here, I might finally learn Noriko's location. If it all pans out, then everything could be over by tonight. It's hard not to get excited about the prospect. It's hard to get ahead of myself. I could leave my death behind and you're not dead, and never look back. I could become Noriko and live the happy life she has been keeping to herself all these years. It's not true, and you're not dead. The message finally arrives on my screen. It's an address, not that I expected anything else. A street name and a factory number in Shunaboko area. One more message from Junpei comes through. My guys saw a chick matching Noriko's description inside that factory. They thought she was a zombie. Ha, go check it out. This is it. As long as this information is solid, I've located Noriko's factory. My entire body begins to shake, and icy chill washes over me as though I was walked into a cold shower. It's a strange sensation for a dead girl to feel. You're not dead. Pain doesn't affect me, and yet the cold is something I never banished from my bones. You're not dead. No time to focus on that. I have to stay calm. I need to concentrate on pulling myself together. I launch myself up from the couch and collect the backpack hanging over in the coat rack. I unzip it, run my hand through its contents, and convince myself that everything I need is within. After swinging the bat over my shoulder, I throw open the apartment door and venture inside. The factory is a rundown mess. How anyone could live here is beyond me. I suppose I'll just have to find a way to make it feel like home. Maybe once I'm inside Noriko's skin, I'll be able to understand why she's so comfortable here. You're not dead. You're not dead, you're not dead, you're not dead. Yeah, the more I look at it, the better it seems. This will be my home. I'll be Noriko and live here happily ever after. You'll be in jail. She's wanted. I'll sit back and enjoy the life that she's been withholding from me. What? Firstly, I need to find somewhere to change my clothes. I can't kill someone if I'm wearing a nice dress. That's just not acceptable. I did consider changing at home, but then I would have scored funny looks from the people on the train ride over. Is it strange that a dead girl fears entering social... You're not dead. You are alive. This is a mental illness. I believe that. She's not dead, guys. If she's dead, this game fucking blows. I always go out of my way to avoid uncomfortable situations. Perhaps just a remnant of the life I once knew. Something that I can't quite leave behind. It's the same as my obsessive compulsions. They cling to me like carrion flies swarming over my corpse. Okay, she's not dead. She's just mentally ill, and she's fucking losing it. I shouldn't be worried about any of those things, but dead or not, my mind can't just discard anxieties that shape my entire life. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I trapping myself in my pointless thoughts? My goal is right in front of me. Noriko's on the other side of the brick wall, completely unaware of what is about to happen. A heavy-handed slap on my face doesn't sting, but it causes me to reevaluate what I'm doing. Focus. First I'll change into the gear provided by the human removal service. Then I'll shimmy into the factory through the open window. I'll locate Noriko and drive a knife into her chest. I'll pluck her still beating heart from her body and like a ripe strawberry, and then I'll carve my name into a pulsating, blood-spurting organ. Noriko's life will be over and I'll be reborn. I'll baptize myself in her lifeblood and become the girl I've always wanted to be. I'll be happy. Happy just like Noriko. Noriko's not happy. That smiling, carefree girl that I spent my youth with. The girl that faced her mother's attempted suicide with a stoic smile. The girl that didn't flinch when her father walked out. You realize how many fucking problems Noriko has? The girl that stayed inside day after day when the outside world became too scary to face. The happy, she's not happy and carefree. Without a single real problem. Yeah, we're just mentally ill, guys. No worries. She's actually not dead. She's just fucking crazy. She never knew how good her life was. She never would have lasted a day in my shoes. I hate her so much. I'm going to become her. My backpack hits the ground with a dull impact. I tear my yellow sundress from her shoulders and let it fall onto the ground just like a snake sheds its skin. The cool afternoon breeze bites my naked skin and makes the tiny hairs across my body stand on end. Why can't the dead feel cold? Ugh. You're not dead, you're not dead, you're not dead. Why do you keep saying that? The dead shouldn't feel anything. I crouch and rummage through my backpack, withdrawing my change of clothes. Slowly, calmly, and deliberately, I dress myself in dark gear, and that makes me as a herald, one of many. I note the comforting weight of 4 knives concealed within my jacket, 1 in each sleeve, 2 against the chest. It's important to be armed to the teeth. After donning every article, I pull a broad mask out of the bag. You don't want her to know that it's you doing it? A mask in the likeness of Corpse Girl, my enemy and my future identity. I slide the mask over my face, and a curtain of calm descends over me. This is the last time I march forward in the name of the Human Removal Service. This is for my own personal agenda. The scheming that rebellious group of killers no longer guides my hand. The time has come. I approached the factory's front entrance and tried the door, simply out of curiosity. I didn't expect Noriko to have lowered her guard by so much, and yet, the door swings open. She left it unlocked. A mistake I never would have made thanks to my overbearing compulsions. This place reeks of death. If I wasn't so accustomed to the smell, I'd probably vomit. Do dead girls vomit? You're not dead. The dull, steady hum of the air conditioner registers in my consciousness, but doesn't distract me from examining the surroundings. We better have a confrontation, by the way, because I'm curious what Noriko's about to say. Countless empty body bags are strewn across the pockmarked concrete floor, some stained with brown blood and some are completely clean. A series of shelves, almost like warehouse racks, run along the walls, across the floor with haphazard patterns. Whoever planned this layout was out of their mind. However, this is home now. My home. Soon. Striding forward, I weave between the shelves and step over to discarded body bags. So far, there has been no indication of Noriko's presence. Still, I draw a knife from inside my sleeve so that it rests in my palm of my hand. The metal handle is cold. Cold? Why do I feel cold? The entire factory is like a freezer. Can Noriko live here?
Hey.
My torso wrists in reaction to the monotone syllable. The quick movement sends a shooting pain down my chest, across my chest. Pain? Pain? Yeah, because you're not dead, dumb shit.
It's you. Hello, Harold. It took me a while, but I figured out what your mask is supposed to be. It's like an artistic representation of Corpse Girl, right? The Corpse Girl mascot that appears on my website.
I am going to be so upset if Noriko dies here. Noriko flashes her phone at me and I glare at the website displayed.
That's totally copyright infringement.
I don't know what to say to her. This isn't exactly how I imagined this encounter would play out. Yeah, because you're wearing a mask. Take your mask off, dumb shit.
Why'd you fake Junpei Matsumoto's death? You know what I'm talking about, right? That time we met in the underground parking lot. You planted a look-alike corpse to fool us into thinking Junpei had died. Total Corpse Girl move, by the way. Guess you stole that strategy from me, too. I sense a lawsuit.
She steps forward with the hand outstretched. I instinctively lash out with my knife and slash her wrist. But her hand comes to rest on my shoulder, the tiny nick from my inaccurate blade not even prompting a spurt of blood.
Ouch! That stung a little.
The warmth of her hand seeps into my shoulder. It's almost comforting.
Howie, I miss you. I really miss you. Can you take off the mask? Can we just talk?
I really want to talk. I don't take off the mask. I don't know why I'm standing here listening to her. I don't know why her presence and her reassuring hand has caused me to lower my guard. She smiles. This is the happy, carefree Noriko I grew up with.
You're so beautiful, Aoi. I'm really sad we can't be together. How are things with your boyfriend?
That single useless word crawls out of my rotting mouth like a diseased maggot. That's all I can bring myself to say.
You can't tell me? That's okay. You used to be so open with me. And then, you died.
She's not dead.
We tried to keep our friendship going after that, but we've never really been the same since then, have we?
Is this all in Noriko's head?
I hope you get the help you need, Aoi. I hope one day we can put all of this behind us.
My fingers loosen, the grip on my knife weakening. It falls onto the concrete ground. I don't need it anymore. I tense my arms and squeeze my hands together, desperately trying to crush Noriko's throat beneath my fingers. Her skin is warm and flushes red as my grip tightens. She kicks against me, but the pain doesn't register. She's weak and frail. Her strangled cries drowned out by my own grunts of exertion. Anemic fingers swipe at my arms constantly, only serving to irritate me. I cold hold her neck in one hand and use my other to plunge a knife into her face. I could continue to strangle her until I crushed her windpipe, or I could slash her stomach open and let her intestines spill out onto the ground. All of the options are appealing. All of the options get put into motion within seconds. I take my right hand off her neck and slip into my jacket, ready to pull out the knife. My left hand closes tighter on her neck, and Noriko closes the distance between us, causing my elbow to bend and allow her to closer. Her forehead slams into my own, and my neck recoils backwards. I'm falling to the ground, only able to blink once as I try to work out what just happened. She somehow summoned the strength to headbutt me. Frail, weak, ghostly Noriko. She actually stood up for herself. She actually struck the person she loves. I'm dazed but ultimately uninjured. I don't even feel the impact of my skull against the concrete when I land flat on my back. Noriko towers over me and rubs her neck, her ragged breathing even louder than the thrumming of an air conditioner.
Sorry, Aoi. I had to defend myself. Please, get up. Let's talk about things.
Please. I get up. I slip a knife into her side and feel it slide neatly between two of her ribs. Her taut, thin skin does nothing to resist the impalement. Noriko looks down at the wound and mumbles in surprise. I drive the knife in deeper, and with a flick of the wrist I pull it sideways, slashing her belly wide open. An arcing stream of blood sprays out in savage wound and forms a macabre rainbow before me. Noriko coughs and gags as she frantically tries to stem the tide of blood with her own hands.
Damn it! Corpse girl will
She falls to her knees.
get at you.
Her empty threat falls with her, and her face slams into the concrete. Noriko Kurosawa is dead. Using the very same knife that slashed her open, I cut along the seams of my jacket and skirt. I strip myself down with the blade until I'm standing cold and naked in the factory. It doesn't take long to strip Noriko down as well, but I'm extra careful with her clothes and I don't use the knife this time. I simply pull up her dress over her until it slides free from her motionless body. I hold the dress up against me, letting it press against my own form. I look down and admire the sight of myself, imagining what I'll look like when I wear it. I can finally become Noriko. I can wear her clothes, live in her factory, talk to her friends, work at her office. I can do all the things that she loved to do, all the things that made her happy. I slip the dress over my head and force my arms through the sleeves. It's a little long, but it overall fits me nicely. I'm Noriko Kurosawa. Okay, that's Act 3. We're on the final act, Noriko Kurosawa. I don't know what the fuck is happening. When Mother killed herself, she didn't die. Well, she died, but not really. It's a funny thought. Everything that she was, everything that made her Asuno Kurosawa, left this planet on that day. Her body remained, but her soul had departed. She got sent away to a care facility. I didn't see her often after that. On the rare occasions I visited her, I always wanted to notice that her eyes no longer looked like mine. I hate her for what she did to our family. Yuriko and I were the only children at the time. But Mother hung herself from the ceiling and made us watch. She encouraged us to kick the chair out from underneath her. We didn't understand what she was doing. She told us it was a game. So we kicked the chair and we laughed. And Mother laughed, and then her neck snapped and she stopped laughing, and the light from her eyes and I once shared were extinguished instantly. Yuriko screamed, I screamed, and Mother just wouldn't move, and we couldn't get her down from the ceiling, and eventually Yuriko remembered how to call for an ambulance, and the paramedics arrived and we were taken away. And after that I was completely fucked up, because you don't just walk away from something like that and act like nothing happened. I spent years trying to force the painful memories of her attempted suicide out of my mind. But I didn't exactly cope with it very well. How could I? I became terrified of the world and became used to locking myself inside and wasting away. So is this all in our head? What is happening? Yuriko dealt with it a little better than me. I can't say that her rebellious behavior was the right way to cope, but it could have been healthier than staying inside for weeks at a time. By the time I reached the senior high school, I think I had mostly gotten past everything. The vision of Mother hanging from the ceiling in front of me didn't haunt my dreams. The sound of our laughter intermingled with screaming didn't always ring in my ears. Aoi helped me through a lot of it. She shared all of her problems with me, and it made me feel a little bit better, like maybe life wasn't so bad. Aoi's life was kind of messed up. Her father was arrested for various crimes and didn't spend much time with her either. When we were about to graduate, he came down to town and violently attacked her. She called me and told me that he had killed her. But she killed him too, so it was all going to be okay, her words not mine. I never understood what she meant when she said she was dead. I think graduating put some distance between us, so I never truly tried to figure out her words. My own problems came back to haunt me once I moved out of the home. I became completely distracted and almost forgot about Aoi. The apartment I moved into, I should have known the smell of mold isn't normal. I should have paid attention to the shoddy repair work that had been performed on the wall. I should have just walked away and found somewhere else to live. But that apartment, I suppose that's where I started to lose control of my life. And that's exactly the reason I needed to return there. Several days later,
Looks the same as always.
I don't understand what the fuck is going on. I'm not looking forward to climbing the rest of the stairs up to the apartment. I can hardly walk at all, even on flat ground. But I have to do this. I can't let the stitches and bandages and painkillers distract me from getting inside. What? I don't know how long I was in the hospital for. None of my personal effects were with me when I woke up. I had no phone, no purse, no handbag. But the doctors monitored me for a few days and they let me go, even though I told them I had nowhere to return to. They just threw me onto the street. They couldn't even tell me what happened to the girl who attacked me. They had no idea if she had been arrested or not. I have a feeling she's still out there. Regardless, I'm here now, my wound apparently on the mend, and I have no signs of infection. All I have to do is focus on the ascent in front of me. Each step I climb is more difficult to conquer than the last. Each time I raise my leg and I experience a searing agony upon the length of my stomach. More than once I have to stop and check that the stitches haven't torn wide open. When I'm sure my flesh is more or less intact, I continue scaling the mountain. My head throbs and I bend, and beads of sweat drip down my face. When I hit the landing on the level below my apartment, I spy a familiar face.
Noriko?
Momo Ogawa, the daughter of Kenji Ogawa, the man I framed in order to maintain my innocence.
Hey, Momo. Dad!
Her panic cry is the reaction I was expecting. Her father is exiting the apartment just as Momo cries out. He does a double take before glaring at me.
Noriko, surprised to see you here.
I can't get a grasp of his tone. Is he happy to see me or angry? Does he even know that I'm the reason he was arrested? Well, I'm assuming that the police let him go fairly quickly, and after all, he's here at home, not rotting in a cell.
Hello.
The landlord said you disappeared.
Yeah, kind of.
Are you okay? You look like...
His gaze turns to the hospital tags adorning my wrists and the package of spare bandages I have slung over my shoulder.
You know, you disappeared right around the time the police...
Huh?
Forget it. It's nothing.
I have a bad feeling he's about to piece something together. If he works out that I'm behind this false arrest, then...
Sorry, I should go.
Yeah. Come on, Momo.
Bye-bye, Noriko. Bye, Momo.
The girl waves excitedly as her father leads her downstairs. I should feel relieved that he's safe, but honestly I just feel guilty. My actions, Corpse Girl's actions, put a lot of strain on that little family. I have to keep going. The last flight of stairs is torture on my battered body, but I persevere and reach the front door of the apartment. I'm so fucking confused. I'm not even trying to comment at this point. I just want to get through this game and figure out what's going on. It's at this moment that I remember I don't have the keys to get in. Shit. Out of desperation, I try turning the handle and the door opens. Either I left the place unlocked or the landlord has been inside and forgot to lock up. I'm just thankful I can keep moving forward. The curtains are open, bathing the living room in soft light.
I'm home.
Home. No, that's not right. This isn't my home. This is Noriko's home. This isn't Noriko's home. This is Corpse Girl's home. Is Corpse Girl the dead body of Shinzuko that's been whispering to Noriko? Does Noriko know that body's there and that's Corpse Girl? I never really lived here. I simply existed within these walls. The real Noriko was held hostage by an omnipotent presence sealed in this home. The things here are just as I left them so long ago. It's a comforting feeling, but at the same time it sends a chill down my spine. It's time to move on. I stride with purpose towards the kitchenette and slide open one of the drawers. Inside is a small mallet with a metal head. It's a treasure that I acquired from the garden shed on the apartment grounds back when I first moved in. It's not very large, but it suits me just fine. I don't have the strength to wield anything bigger than this. Bringing it to bear is still a great deal of effort. I grip the handle with both hands and lift a deceptively large tool. Equipped with this tiny weapon of destruction, I slowly lurch through the hallway. I make my way to the very end where there's a blank, stark white wall facing me. The paint on the wall is peeling like it was slapped on without any care. The plaster is cracked like it was applied by an amateur. And the lingering stench of mold is at its strongest when it stands in front of the wall. I bring the mallet down on both arms, the heavy metal head crashing into the wall with as much force as I can muster. The struggle of bearing the mallet is taking a toll on my wound. I feel the stitches in my stomach threatening to snap and break. But I can't stop here. I can't stop until I've crushed this wall and revealed the glittering contents of the trove hidden inside. Another swing, another crash against the plaster. A cry of pain, and another hole in the wall. I scream and I swing the hammer and groan and slash and weep, and the wall crumbles beneath the sheer force of will. White dust clouds my vision and provokes me into a coughing frenzy. When my eyes and throat clear up, I throw the mallet to the carpet and venture forward. I clamber through the human-sized hole in the wall and find myself within the secret cache on the other side. The stench of assaulting my nostrils no longer disguises itself as mold. It's the fetid malodor of rotten decay, the inimitable trademark of a decomposing corpse. I spent so long fooling myself into believing it was nothing concerning. So you didn't know the corpse was here? What? Then how'd you know to I spent so long pretending that this corpse didn't live within the walls of this apartment. What? The truth is, this corpse is pinned to the wall is the root of all evil. It is an infinite fount of misery and despair and malice and death and hatred. This is Corpse Girl.
Hello, old friend.
The corpse does not reply. To call it a corpse is no longer entirely accurate. It has become little more than a skeleton, an osseous edifice, a macabre tribute to the unyielding sands of time. Bone and flesh and hair and fabric blend and intertwine and melt together to form a sickening representation of human beauty. I used to think that this body was pure perfection. Back when the corpse was more or less intact, it was an image of a gorgeous, vibrant young woman. I aspired to become just as beautiful. Okay, that explains that. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.